Hey there, it's Kelsey, and I wanted to talk about a different topic today that's not related to the Powerpuff Girls or Bob's Burgers. Yeah, this is going back to Dexter's Lab. I didn't really talk about the thing, but I talked about my update on the Randhouse being stupid. But anyway, I don't understand why they decided to reboot the Powerpuff Girls this year. I mean, it is Dexter's Lab's 20th anniversary, and it's like they forgot all about that and didn't reboot Dexter's Lab. Well, they are rebooting Samurai Jack, which got a lot of hits, and is by the same creator. Jendy Tartakovsky, whatever, I don't know. Sounds like a Russian last name or something. I don't care. Um, he also worked on Symbionic Titan, which didn't last very long, but yeah. I mean, Dexter's Lab was a good show. It didn't suffer a seasonal run in seasons 3 and 4 nearly as bad as the Powerpuff Girls. And the worst episode of Dexter's Lab, to me, was probably Jeepers Creepers Where's Peepers, which was in season 3. I mean, there were some low points in the series, even in the original, like Dexter versus Santa's Claus. But that atrocity that Mr. Enter reviewed, not as bad as Jeepers Creepers Where's Peepers, but yeah. It is like most, animated comedies like this, just like the Fairly Odd Parents or Full House is located in another other than St. California because that's the most populous state, and plus that's the state that gets promoted. No offense to you guys in California. You're very nice, even though I haven't been there, except for when I was just 2 years old, so I don't even remember. Anyway, enough about California. About Dexter's Lab. It didn't really follow a form of continuity. Probably less so than SpongeBob. Just as much or probably a little bit less, I don't know. But, every episode ended on a different cliffhanger. And you could do that again. Yes, the original show was good. I mean, you could introduce new characters, but, if you go the route that the Fairly Odd Parents did, it probably wouldn't turn out very well anyway. So, at least to introduce a character that would be substantial to the plot if you are going to reboot it. And if you're going to reboot Dexter's Lab, and if I wanted to, here's how I would do it. I wouldn't put any memes. Maybe the technology would use smartphones would be okay, but no memes, no internet memes, just, no fads that will go away within a week or two, which is, of course, South Park explained how memes come and go. And they were able to do a spot-on episode about that, the Faith Helen episode, because Train Matter are able to produce an episode of South Park in 6 days, which the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, cannot. It takes months to do hand-drawn animation versus programmed animation. Oh yeah, and if you haven't noticed, sorry if I'm going off on a tangent here again, that they released the E3 trailer for Fractured But Whole. It seems like it's going to be like a Marvel versus DC parody. There was one, I heard that was something with the comics back then. I mean, The Simpsons already did an episode on that, made a reference to that in I Am Furious Yellow with Stan Lee and his cameo. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm referencing this with The Simpsons, Dexter's Lab, whatever in every one of my videos, but really, these are cartoons that just need to be talked about, or I find interesting, or how they can tie together. And that Simpsons already did it. Well, before the Simpsons have done everything, but everything has pretty much been told before the Simpsons even existed. So why am I even going off on a tangent about this? Because there's one form of comedy that existed before the other, even before the invention of television. Sure, things are getting more complex and different, which more stories can be varied and told now. I mean, who would have thought we would have iPhones? Some people just thought we would have hover cars by this time, like in Back to the Future, but no, we don't. So, yeah. So, I'm not going to talk Back to the Future. I mean, I'm not sure if Dexter ever made any Back to the Future references, but I know they made a reference to Ghostbusters and Filet of Soul, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the Golden Diskette, and of course, some of the original episodes, like, I know that was, yeah. Going on about another cartoon that ripped off Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory worse than Dexter's Lab. Of course, Mr. Enter and Pie Guy Rules talk about Atlanta Square Pianist, which is an absolute ripoff of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with their terrible musicals. At least there's like only one musical in the Golden Diskette, and it's not over the top. Of course, Tom Kenny is riddled and not riddled, but he's been heavily involved in shows like the Powerpuff Girls original and Dexter's Lab, even before SpongeBob. He's also been in Mock Rocko's Modern Life, Cat Dog. He's been in plenty of cartoons, so he's been in plenty of cartoons before the SpongeBob even came on. SpongeBob did not spark his fame. I'm trying to think the first thing he's ever been in, Tom Kenny. I'm guessing he was in the Tom and Jerry movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear to God I heard his voice in that movie. It sounded like he was in that movie. And so I stated, yes, Tom Kenny has been personally part of any animated thing, generally kitsch stuff in general, since 1992. And Tom and Jerry, the movie, which wasn't very good to a lot of people, not even very impressive to me, it came out that year. The year before I was born, so. Granted, I never watched Tom and Jerry, but I've seen some clips, and it just, it's not. It's what people would call an animated atrocity and bad, I wouldn't call it terrible, I would just call it bad and, not Tom and Jerry. And just unnatural Tom and Jerry. Why am I even talking about Tom and Jerry when I should be talking about Dexter's Lab? See, this is a problem, guys. I mean, of course, Dexter's Lab made fun of Tom and Jerry and Mom and Jerry, where Dexter got turned into a cute little mouse. And I love the slapstick between Dexter, sorry if I said Denver. Why do I have Denver, Colorado in my mind? Yeah, they just sound similar. So anyway, Dexter's mom chases him around and then of course, well, that's because Dexter switches bodies with a mouse. He conducts an experiment. And at the end, of course, you got the cat chasing both Dexter and the mouse, who have swapped bodies, and Dee Dee acting like the dog. But I don't get it. I mean, it is for comical purposes, but seriously, they do already have a dog. I mean, that's been shown in several episodes. Whatever. It's like SpongeBob. It's not a show that follows continuity very well. So, there is one thing that Dexter has done has done cliche plots like the Amnesia one, Remember Me, or whatever, where he becomes Ducky instead of Dexter. He gets hit. Believe it or not, this Amnesia plot was okay. Much better than Who Bob What Pants, and much better than Regarded Margie from The Simpsons. Those plots were just, not really well told. They were kind of the weaker episodes. I mean, besides animation, it's mostly displayed in live action. And they're only using Amnesia because, guess what? It's rare in real life. You don't get Amnesia. Heck, this was a story element in Finding Nemo, a very good CGI movie from Pixar produced in 2003. Released in 2003. Yeah. Dory suffered from, short-term memory, not really amnesia, but short-term memory loss, which can be kind of seen as a little bit like amnesia. But, yeah. Speaking of which, I have not seen Finding Dory, and if that's going to be a good movie at all, I'm hoping it's a good movie. Sounds like it could be promising. I mean, yeah. So, I'm trying to think about Dexter. And Dexter has a lot more potential to come back. Yeah, they do have like things like Danced Pants and the Powerpuff Girls rule incarnations, but has Dexter really had any other incarnations after 2003? No. It's a great cartoon, but it's also like one of the more forgotten ones. Yeah, the Powerpuff Girls was kind of forgotten, but a lot less forgotten than Dexter's Lab. Dexter's Lab, the first cartoon, should have been the most influential, I feel like. Yeah, it's been forgotten. Yes, IDW Comics did publish like 4 issues, or tried to, but then they cut that off, stopping at only 4 issues of Dexter's Lab. So, is there any hope for this young scientist and his genius mind to come back? And is there any place for Dee Dee can do her destructive dance in his lab once again? Or instead there's some kind of... The thing is, I would not like a Dexter spin-off. If you try to do a spin-off of Dee Dee, I'm guaranteeing you it would most likely fail. You try to do a spin-off of Mandark, that might have some potential, but you should focus around, Basically, I'm gonna have to stop the recording here soon because it's gonna get to 15 minutes, but Johnny Test already sapped the personality out of Dexter and kind of took over as Dexter's Lab. And yet it lasted a lot longer than Dexter's Lab. Yeah, it was a total ripoff. It's just basically the opposite. If only Dexter's Lab was recognized, not Johnny Test. And yes, I've been hearing stuff like it is a ripoff. And guess what? I agree, it is a ripoff in a lot of ways. I just wish... when I said I wanted Dexter's Lab back, I really meant it, but I didn't sound that great or display it in the right way. I was too whiny in that video. Really, I am just stating that. I'm not crying this time, and you know what? I do miss the show, and I really do want it back. But I don't think I can see any hope of it being good, considering what they did to the Powerpuff Girls. It would probably have to have, like, Tartakovsky, I can't even pronounce his last name. It's just a weird last name. Sounds Russian, I don't know. Just to come back and... also one other cartoons that are fairly recent, like Camp Lazlo, to come back. That was a good show, but I'm not sure if Joe Murray would want to work on that. So anyway, I think I've said enough. Hope you enjoyed listening to my ramble or rant or whatever about Dexter's Lab. I'll be discussing Camp Lazlo and how I think that one should come back too. So, see y'all later and have a good day.